Hi, my name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, assembly of a 3D printer and the 3 Pro. Check out the video. Now I've bought this laser off Banggood. If you are interested in buying one, I'm going to drop you some links down below in the description of this video so you can go and have a look yourself, check it out. But yeah, we'll see if it was a good investment or not. Okay, I've got a love letter at the top. Just a product description. Right, okay. So it is neatly packaged, I have to say. Everything seems intact, in good order. So let's take everything out. Right then, that's all the parts I've got. It does look fairly complicated, but I hope it's not going to be too bad. Let's put this bad boy together. We do get some sort of an instruction step by step, obviously the list of all the components here. So we're gonna follow all that. Before you start assembly, make sure you've got some nice and flat and level surface you can reference off the whole build, as it is really important for the machine to be nice, square and level. Okay, so I'm just gonna move the main body of the machine just over here. As you can see, we've got some wires sticking from underneath. Make sure they're not in the way. Just gonna place it like that. Okay, so a couple of things we need to sort out first before we actually start the assembly. It's just easier to do it at this stage. The bed, in my case, it is wobbly a little bit. It does have some movement in it, plus I think the whole frame, that's not square either. There is a bit of a movement in it, so that's what we need to sort out first. And I definitely would recommend anybody to actually start from this step. Okay, so let's flip this over just like so. One more thing I just remembered, with the power brick you've got over here, make sure the voltage is set up correctly to the voltage in your country. In my case is 230 volts, and that's what it is set up to. So obviously it could be 120 as well, so make sure you double check that what it is set up to. Okay, so you don't have any issues with it. Okay, so how to remove the wobble from the table, from the machine itself. Okay, on one side you're going to have some centric nuts just over here. The other side doesn't have those. So what we need to do, we need to loosen them up a little bit and adjust the tension of those nuts to make sure the wobble is gone. In my case, it's actually not too bad. However, you know, if your machine will come with a heavy wobble, at least you will know how to fix that. Okay, so grab your hex key, loosen the bolts at the top, and now with the key, try to add some pressure to the nut below. Now add just enough pressure until you come to some resistance, and when you do, back off just a touch, and you can now tighten that up. Make sure it's not moving on you, so use the key and just tighten that up. Okay, same thing with the other one. Right, let's have a look. No wobble at all, so that's sorted. Next we're going to flip this over. And we'll try to adjust the feet of those, okay, because I do have some wobble in the frame itself. It's easy fixed. You've got 4 bolts just over here on each side, so undo those. It's just easier to do these steps now. Do it on both sides. Okay, so I've loosened all the bolts, and as you can see, there is no movement now, so it is nice and leveled, and it is very important to have this machine leveled, and it's easier to you know, work later on with it. So I can now just tighten these back up and that will make sure the whole machine is level and it's printing as it should. For the next step, we're going to need the longest aluminium profiles. They are slightly different. The holes in them are in different places, so we'll get to that, which one goes where. To attach them, you're going to need the M545 bolts that come with this tool. Okay, so first of all, we'll attach this profile. You can see it's got the holes on the side. You got the shorter distance from the hole to the end of it over here, and that goes directly on the machine itself. As you can see on the table, that's the logo. You got this front bit over here, so it's on the right hand side from that, and it's really easy to actually attach. You get those bolts, thread it through, same thing on the other side with the other profile. You got two holes just very close to the edge, to the end of the profile, so that actually goes to the machine like that. And you know, do exactly the same thing. Use the two bolts provided and just attach the profile. Okay, now it's time to attach the power supply. Please remember about the voltage, change it to the right one for you. So Europe 230, United States 110 or 115. So we need to attach it to the aluminium profile that has got these two holes, one over here and one over there. And we're going to be using these bolts M420 to actually attach it. And it goes just like so. Okay, nice and secure. Right, still at the front of the machine, we're going to now attach the display and control unit. It goes just like so. You've got two holes that align with the holes in the frame itself, and we're going to attach it with the M58 bolts. Pretty easy to do. And there you go. Next is to install the Z-axis switch. Pretty simple to do. On the switch itself, you've got two bolts here with some T-nuts on the other side, just like that. So that will actually slide in the channel over here. And at the bottom of this, as you can see, you've got this plastic extrusion just over here. That will indicate where you are on the axis. So that needs to rest on this aluminium profile, just like so. Right, so we're going to loosen these up a little bit. Align it with the channel, and as you slide it down, that plastic extrusion will stop it on this axis. So now you just need to secure it just like that, and now that's in the right place. Now it's time to install the Z motor. It's actually very simple to do. So that's the stop that we just attached, and on this profile you got two holes just over here, and on the motor you got this plastic attachment over here with two holes for these M418P bolts. So put that against that axis just like so, and attach it with those bolts nice and tight. Okay, and that's done. Now it's time to attach the rod. You just place it inside just like that, all the way down. Okay, just like so, and you can tighten that bolt up. Okay, for the next step, we're going to need one of the aluminium profiles, the one that's actually longer. You've got two of them left, so the longer one with, it has got more holes in it, so that's what we're going to need. And we're going to start to assemble the X-axis. Now what you want to do is to take these two components and attach them together just like so. Just screw that in just like that. You don't have to over tighten it too much, just make sure it's nice and stable. Okay, so the next part could be a little bit fiddly with the longer profile. We actually need to just attach it now to this component. So you can see you got the stopper just over here, and from the profile we need the side that has got those holes closer together. As you can see over here, there's a bigger distance here, smaller distance there, and those holes marry up with these holes over here, and you've got this larger hole to accommodate the bolt that's just over here. So basically that just goes over there, and we are using M416s for this. And just drive them in. Okay, the next step is to get this component on that aluminium profile, just like so. Just slide it in. That's the barcode. You've got the fan over here, so that's how it needs to be facing. You know, nothing special here. And on the other side, on the back side, just like that, we need to install this component. As you can see, it does have that bolt. It will marry up with the larger cutout in the profile just over here, and it goes just like that. And you got two holes through which we're going to put the M416s and attach this component. Now it's time to add the belt to the whole contraption. So first of all, let's just undo it like that. It needs to go underneath those wheels. Just gonna roll it over just like that. Now I can pull it forward. And we are getting to this box, okay? In this box, you can see you got that component there. We need to go around that. It could be a little bit fiddly trying to, you know, fish it out, but it's not too bad, to be fair. Just like that. There we go. Not bad at all. Okay, and now from underneath, we just basically attach this belt just like that. Pull it tight. Okay, so that's done from this side, and with that belt you just go around just like so and attach the other end in here like we did with the first one. Slide it in there, and that's secured. Now we need to attach the tension adjustment part. Looks just like this. Okay, so we've got the T-nuts over here. We need to release that a little bit so it gives us a bit of space over here. Okay, so that's more or less attached. So if you need to adjust the tension on the belt itself, move that component away further or closer, and you know, you should be able to dial in the exact tension you need. Okay, so the next step is actually very simple. So you grab the axis that we had, place it over on the aluminium profiles that we installed, and as you can see, you've got that rod, and it just goes through there. You can just spin this just like so to take it lower. So one of the easiest steps in this build, that's for sure. Now we're going to be installing the final profile with these openings facing up just like that, and we are using the M525 bolts to secure it. And now we can install the plastic ends. Okay, now it's time to attach this pull holder. Let's put all of this together. For that, we're going to use these bolts and the T-nuts as well. Now let's attach this. Simple enough, just like that. Okay, now it's time to connect all the wires. Okay, it's not too bad, so they're all labeled up. So for example, this one is E for the extruder, so that goes just in here. The one that's marked with an X goes just over here. And the last one, it's actually for the stop itself. That could be a little bit tricky, but it's not too bad. On this side here, we've got a wire with a Z that goes to the stop just over here. On this side, we've got another one that's marked with a Z that goes to the motor. Okay. The Y power cable that's already attached, so we don't have to do anything with it. And so what we've got here is the power cable. So we plug that in just like so. And the very last cable we've got, that's the ribbon cable just over here, lovely colors, that needs to be attached to the screen itself. Okay, and the ribbon cable goes into that slot just over here, which is the closest to the machine, just like so. And that's done. All right then, so as you can see, I've loaded the filament, I've plugged in the power cord, and actually with the machine itself, you do get an SD card, you know, so straight away you're up and running. You can load your G code on this and, you know, hopefully use it with your machine. So let's test it out. Let's have a look if we can actually print something out. So you just switch it on here. And you select all the options, everything you need from the panel itself. Now, as you can see, everything's up and running. There's no issues, which is really good. I'm happy with that. Before you actually start your first print, make sure the table is actually leveled. It's a very simple process to do. Only thing you need is a sticky note or some sort of a piece of paper to actually do it, and just use those wheels to level everything out. However, if you want a separate video on how to level the table, let me know down below in the comments and I will do that. You know, today's video is not really a tutorial on how to use it. It's just an assembly video and, you know, the initial test on how to run the machine itself. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do a print test. Just gonna put the card just in here. There's a slot for the SD card on this side. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna auto home the printer itself and we're gonna start printing something. I'm just gonna select the file from the card. There you go. Now it's going to heat up the bed, it's going to heat up the nozzle itself, and in a few moments it will start printing. Hopefully, anyway. And off it goes. As a test, I'm just using a super simple file. You know, very simple shape, so it prints off really quickly. Is just to see, you know, how it prints and if it will print. And as we can see, it's actually doing its job. So yep, there's definitely no issues with that. In my later videos, I will be doing on, you know, more in-depth tutorials on how to use this machine. It will be more or less directed to beginners, as I am a beginner myself and 3D printing is absolutely new to me. So yeah, if you're in the same boat as me, I do encourage you to actually subscribe to my channel for all that new content that will come onto my channel. As well, if I'm gonna have any files, if I'm gonna have any projects, these will be available to my Patreons for absolutely for free. So if you are my Patreon, you will get all the files, all the projects that I will be doing there absolutely for free. So if you want to support the channel and, you know, get some additional benefits, definitely check out my Patreon. The link is down below in the description of this video. I also got some pieces, some upgrades for this machine, so we'll be covering that in the future as well. Check that out, it's done, and it only took 10 minutes. Well, it's stuck, that's for sure. Okay, let's use the feature of this bed. There we go, it's off. Whoa! Well, I have to say it definitely rolls. And as you can see, it prints absolutely fine. Obviously, you know, I've not tinkered with any options here really. It was just out of the box what I had in the G code that went. However, you know, you can make a lot of adjustments to your projects, to the quality of your prints, etc. And that will be covered in my future videos. But yeah, it's definitely working, which I'm happy with that. And there you go, guys. I'm actually really relieved that it works. As I said, you know, it was in the box for over 2 years with me, not used. And as you can see, it works absolutely fine, no issues at all. Now, you can really make some amazing things with a 3D print. For me, the focus will be my workshop, woodworking and general DIY. So, you know, I've got tons of ideas of how I can actually improve my workflow and add some cool jigs and elements like that. And this is a perfect tool for this. And to be fair, nowadays the 3D printers and even this Ender 3 Pro, the prices are quite affordable. As I said, I'm going to drop some links for you so you can check it out. I think I've got some links on Amazon and Banggood as well, so you can go ahead and check those out. They are in the description of this video. But yeah, so far so good. Everything works absolutely fine. Look out for some future videos on a bit more in depth how to use it, G code and all the software I'm going to be using, and yeah, obviously future projects for my workshop. So far, so good. But I hope, you know, this video on how to assemble this machine was helpful to you. To be fair, it's not that hard. You know, it looked more scary than it was. So yeah, it's not too bad to put it together at all. And as I said, I do have some upgrades for this machine already, so that will be covered as well in the future videos. Now, I'm actually a beginner when it comes to 3D printing, hence I will be covering step by step all the little bits and pieces. For example, if you want me to do the video on how to actually put the filament in or change it, let me know down below in the comments, and obviously let me know what other things about a 3D printer or 3D printing you want me to cover in my future videos as well. But for today, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.